Oh, you talking about Jay?
I'm gonna give you a clue. Second round knockout, cannabis. I'll let you kick a verse. Fuck it. I'll let you kick them all. Then wait for your studio audience to depart. Then I kick you when you're growing sticky for your Vanguard award
LL?
in front of your first, second, and third born. Have your wife get on the horn called Minister Farrakhan so he can squash this. I said, no, he started this. He forgot what a hardcore artist is. Who did he call? Who did he tell his wife to call?
Oh, Farrakhan.
A few of you in a few smoke-filled rooms, right? Making plans while the brown, yellow, black, white, poor, struggling are suffering. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That ain't no coincidence. Farrakhan was a violinist. He got a love for music. That means that if it's a message coming on the music, he can catch it if don't nobody else catch it.
Mm. So that's what MJ was doing when he was that he was sending codes.
All that's codes.
Yo, that's wild.
Yep. So the chiefs move around on the land and relocate regularly to find out how to read different parts of the culture from different parts of the land. This is why I end up having residents at different times on multiple places on the land. I done lived in Mississippi. I done lived in Tennessee, Georgia, Delaware, New York, New Jersey, Chicago, Michigan, because I have to become familiar with the different ghetto codes across the land so I could put all of the pieces together to see who don't belong here. And this is how we was able to communicate messages from as far back as 1492 to now without never losing the integrity of the message. Because it's already in the public domain. So all we got to do is tell everybody where the original message at. So when you go back to the arrival of the conquistadors in South America, the elders said they didn't see no ships. Why would they say that when they know what a ship looked like? Because they've been trading with West Africa and they've been trading with East Asia for thousands of years. They know what ships look like. The settlers blamed it on their cognitive dissonance. But our elders knew the strategy they were already implementing at that time. So they made sure that it was understood that didn't no ships come unloading us off, we was already here.
Yep. Yeah, you and Dane definitely need to tap in for sure.
Yeah, Dane is the certified grid on the land. He got to lead the sorting of the documents on the turnaround.
Okay.
And every tribe got to send him a research assistant, and he can organize that. But that's his job. That ain't my job, so I'm not worried about it. He'll take care of what he's supposed to take care of because he's been taking care of what he's supposed to take care of.
Yeah, he been diligent, consistent. And man, definitely on his job. Okay, next question. We got Oshun. You see it right there? It says, have you read the letter from Trump telling the companies to zero out all accounts?
I haven't read that letter.
Yeah. But
it doesn't surprise me because all of the banks is about to go belly up any day now because on the 4th of July was the last day that the Federal Reserve was allowed to print fiat. There's no more fiat being printed currently. So all that came to a stop on the 4th.
Wow. That's so you feel like they knew they wouldn't be able to print anymore, so they tried to come up with the cryptos of the world?
No. The currency got to change over to a gold-backed or a substance-based currency. Right? Gross domestic product, gross national product is sufficient to what you call support any currency we choose to use. But we can't use fiat because nothing backs it. The only thing backing the fiat currency is debt, and debt is slavery. So it's a system of slavery being imposed on the people without their knowledge.
Okay, this question a little different. Let me go to this one first. If you take all your money out, this is just. I've been telling people like he said, if it's gonna be gold back, get you some gold, so you you could, even if you really want to, you could transfer it to whatever that
what's gonna
currency
happen?
becomes.
Because if you go back to our video I did on Facebook, it's called the $1 trillion recovery plan. It's the instructions on how to secure the finances of each person with money, so that nobody can can go bankrupt on the flip. Only thing can happen on the flip, if you got fiat, we're gonna buy the fiat from you, right? But it's gonna be destroyed. The only reason we buying it so that the holders of those credit notes are not penalized for the dirt that the dirty motherfuckers did.
Okay, so they actually came out with something to rectify that.
Right. So they want to use quantum encryption, because quantum encryption makes sure that you can no nation or no country can use more money than they have on reserve at any given time. So nobody can go bankrupt. Right. So let's say, for instance, we call a construction crew in to rebuild the highway because it's all, worn. And the company was going to get paid in fiat. Well, we're not going to pay them in fiat on the flip. They might lose some employees and the company might go belly up. But when they get the payout on the flip, they're going to get paid in gold-backed currency. That way they can re-establish their company, restructure, and then they can go back into business on a cash basis, where if you do a job, you get paid the value of what you did in a currency that's backed by something, substance.
Okay, bad. Oh, buddy said he sent that document to your DM.
Okay, I'll look at it when we get done. What's the best method of tapping into my Akashic records? So first, before you can tap into your Akashic, which gives you past life information, you got to learn how to read your present life. So you go over your life and you review your struggles, what you learned, and why would Big Mama have you learn that is the question that you following when you're doing this research or this life review. If you don't wait till you dead to flash your life in front of your eyes, you can see clearly your mistakes and your recoveries, and then you'll know what you've been trained to do.
Yeah, that's wild. So basically, you need to have a near-death experience before you.
It don't have to. It's
no, I'm just
yeah, but it goes back to the proverb. It say, "He who dies yet lives finds eternal life." Right. That's the death of the ego. And the death of the ego purifies the self for the higher self to assume the position that was previously occupied by the ego. Can you read the rest of that question? I can't see the whole thing.
Yeah, I got you. It's like it's one big movie Hollywood premiere. One big Hollywood movie premiere. That's the end of the question. Yeah, ain't really a question.
Why have this whole show of having Biden the play president? What else?
Or Trump has always been the main man in charge. Why have this whole show of having Biden to play president, or Trump has always been the main man in charge?
It's a show. It's a shit show. It's done sloppily on purpose to show you that it's a show. So what the purpose is to cajole people into using their brain, making you think outside the box you in. By showing you the blatant contradictions in plain clear view, and you don't pick up on it, you really asleep still. Right? It's so much information on social media with old and new pictures of Joe Biden where you can, this is not the same motherfucker.
Clearly not. Ears,
right?
nose.
It's about in total, it might be about 20 different Joe Bidens over the years.
You seen that one they had walking through the airport with his own
Man,
with his own
I
stuff?
post, yeah,
Yeah, that was wild.
yeah,
Yeah, somebody said
uh,
biggest hoax of all time. Facts.
yeah. Now our job is to basically pull the curtain off the band behind the curtain,
Wizard of Oz.
right? Yeah, Wizard of Oz shit. And the yellow brick road is all paved with our gold.
Mm-hmm.
But where is they going? To the Emerald City, right?
Right.
The
City of
Crystal
Green.
City, the Crystal City is to land on Emerald Lake in Colorado.
Yo. So you know you know I'm aware that these movies are really they telling us the truth. So Avatar, right? I want you mentioned it earlier, get one of them old maps. For whatever reason, when they was in that war room and they were showing like the scale of the land and they were showing like the big tree, it was like a holographic presentation where they were showing the scale of the land that they were trying to, and they were showing where all the deposits were for the resources they were trying to steal under the big tree. They literally left a trail to show you how far away from DC the actual big tree was that they never wanted us to get back to. So that's crazy. They don't want us to get back to, like you said, the Emerald Lake or wherever, to where we now have the rights to our land.
They can't stop us because Big Mama told me to find the problem and show it to y'all.
Mm.
And that's why I take the time and try to explain as clear as possible what I'm seeing. Then with the references, you know, telling you the names, the people, right? So one of the most important lectures that most of us missed was that Taj Reawakening Minds last week, Friday, the Unum Sanctum in the I think it was something like the tax wars.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That was a very, very important message for us. And a lot of us haven't looked at it. We don't know about it. But the message is so important that we need to all be sharing it and making sure that other people is watching, listening to what he say. Now, the rule is this. If you don't understand what he's saying, because he's using a lot of legalese, break down what he's saying bit by bit until you understand it clearly. When you understand it clearly, you're going to clearly see what he is telling you is how we supposed to respond to the end. Now the contract is up. His civics takes the next level. It goes from teaching you what civics is to now how to implement your jurisdiction using the civics outline.
Mm.
Right? Because now we no longer under the contract. He don't have to teach us how to navigate the contract. Remember I said Noble Drew Ali was doing two things at the same time. He was showing us how to overthrow the jurisdiction, but he was also teaching us how to navigate the contract until the time comes where we know how to run government. Now we can run this shit out the government. We know how to run this shit now. Mm-hmm. Because all we got to do is put the power where it's supposed to be. Every mayor is supposed to be a woman. That's why the position is called mayor. Mayor is a female horse.
Mm.
It's the town mothers that's called mayors.
Mm. Yeah, so they flipped it. They took our matriarchal society and flipped it to a patriarchal.
Everywhere where the women had power, they put me in there.
Mm. And that was, I know you go over this question a lot. You answer this a lot. Why is the music industry how it is today? But if you want to drop it for you can.
Go ahead with the rest of it. It's drugs, what?
Oh, drugs, killing, etc. Oh, it ain't showing you the whole questions?
Mm-mm. So the music industry is how it is today because it was created by the same people that was overthrowing our system, that was occupying our land. When you go back, it's a movie on YouTube about the origins of Hollywood. You'll see the double head Scottish Rite flag being marched down Hollywood streets when it was a dirt road.
Word.
Because they the ones who created Hollywood. Hollywood is a mass mind control mechanism.
For sure. The holly tree is like that's what they use for wands. So they just
Magic
cast the
wand.
spells. They casting spells all day.
That big old castle that used to be Disney, that was what we called the big house. That shit wasn't built in the 1900s. Nobody used that construction style in the 1900s.
It's like
that's what we call it in modern times, old Gothic construction. They don't use that. They haven't used that construction style at least since the 1000 AD mark. So the castle of Disneyland had to be there at the soonest it could have been built is around the year 1000 AD. So it's at least 1,000 years old. We all left the big house to come fight the Seminole Wars. That's why it was empty when they got there.
Wow.
Most of us don't know. I did a whole video showing the castles on the land. Already. Now, y'all don't have to believe me, but if I was y'all, I would listen. So, I'm going to go through my comments to see if any, Is what over, Angelo? I just got on here. Why was I the only one? I already told you that answer, kid. I'm the only one did the work. So, the women is the only ones that can push the envelope. Because they don't think that none of the women is going to step up and be like, fuck that. Don't wait on them motherfuckers. I'll go first. They don't think y'all do that. And they think that if it do, I'm only going to get like 5 or 6 of them. They don't think y'all don't recognize this shit for what it is. As long as we've been praying for this shit, y'all don't recognize it for what it is. Get the fuck out of here with that dumbass shit. So, Portia, as we went over on the video that Queen made me do last night out of nowhere, is I placed her in charge of collecting the information or passing out the information to the women because of several factors: sincerity, diligence, and what you call commonality or mutual contact. I stay in touch with her a lot. She do a lot of research and we share information, and she the one that fit the profile I was given for the one who sends out the information. I was given a profile I had to match, and she matched. So I asked her to lead the dissemination of the information to the women so they'll know how this shit supposed to be broke. All the guys had to do is, like, for instance, if your girl got a Facebook page or something like that, have her, all she got to do is contact Portia. She gonna tell her exactly what to do. This shit ain't hard. If y'all want out of this shit, I get y'all the fuck out. If y'all don't want out of this shit, I get me the fuck out. Because I can leave by myself. I don't got to take a motherfucker with. I can rebuild all this shit over again like I did several times before. These motherfuckers got so mad at me, they blew the whole goddamn galaxy out of position. Think about that. Trying to stop me, they blew the whole galaxy out of position. Fucking with my mama. Fucking with my mama. You think I'm not gonna motherfucking bring the heat behind no shit like that? And so anyway, it worked like this. Remember yesterday I talked about the stone being hewn from the mountain without hands. Well, I'm the stone. The mountain that I was hewn from, the fair mountain, fair as in beautiful, as in Sun Wukong was cut from a mountain of flowers, or flower mountain, or the beautiful mountain. So it was on top of Fairmount. It was on top of the Fairmount where I made the oath and the agreement in order for me to receive what I needed.
It's the valley. So, but the valley is mostly fucking hot, like real hot as hell. That's like where they got a prison out there. Where it's so goddamn hot.
Pay attention to what they said, Elder.
Go ahead.
Pay attention to what they just said. Because they telling you the climate that's normal in that area.
Uh-huh.
And they telling you they in the valley.
Uh-huh.
if you want the valley and you can control the water. See, what we don't remember, this is how you know you don't remember history. They used to have pipelines that ran water from different, before they started building the dams, they had what they call aqueducts.
Go ahead.
Which funneled the water into the valley areas that was in the desert terrain. The desert is the only place where it'll burn you up in the day and freeze you to death at night.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
And the coldest desert in the world is Antarctica.
Go ahead.
All right, just so y'all know. The coldest desert in the world is Antarctica. Antarctica get less precipitation than Death Valley, Arizona. Think about that shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so let's go on to the next one. We just going over.
This is weird.
All right, see, we see a date on this one.
The date. Don't got a date.
Nope, I don't
definitely
see
an old ass newspaper though.
Yeah, 250 Mississippi flood refugees. See that word in the middle, marooned, right?
Yeah. Okay, I know. I heard of this word.
We gonna do a sidebar on that word after we read this. 250 Mississippi flood refugees marooned on the ridge without shelter. That means they were stranded on a ridge, which is normally at the edge or the side of a mountain. It's like a cliff for drop off, right? And the flood is the cause of them being placed in that condition.
These niggas crafty, bro.
Look what it say: trapped 2 miles from any possible aid.
Hey, conveniently.
Now look, big parade marches on despite threat of rain.
Oh yeah, doing.
Yeah, you can't stop Mardi Gras. I don't give a fuck. You can't stop Mardi Gras. We a Mardi Gras that motherfucker waist deep water.
Yeah, that's our shit.
All right, let's look at another one. We're just going over. We're just gonna breeze through these. Then we're gonna do a little discussion on the floods. Okay, so now here, corpses in trees and rats on a raft. The Great Dayton Flood of 1913. That's another Ohio flood.
Yep. Ohio was big because that's what the Rockefellers they made.
That's the Buckeye State, and the Buckeye is the bullseye, and the bullseye direct hit.
Yep. Right. And that's alchemy right there for the that's high level shit.
It's a flood warning should have been sent down the coast, but somebody didn't send it, right?
Yeah. Straight up. Real
Can you see
shit.
the date at the top?
Date is